What's up, guys? It's 12 o'clock right now. It's past my bedtime, but Silent Planet dropped their new tune, Panopticon, and I am so fired up for this. This is one of my favorite bands in the scene right now, and it was the last show that I saw before COVID happened, and yeah, so I'm mega fired up. Trilogy was a banger, so with Panopticon, I have very high hopes for it. And also, Garrett said something interesting on his Instagram about it. He says, fun fact, Panopticon was also the name of my little jam band in college. My friends and I were philosophy nerds and were inspired by Foucault's prescient writings regarding the inevitability of the surveillance state. Okay, so it seems like this is about surveillance and stuff. Regardless, it's going to be cool lyrics. It's going to be heavy, I'm assuming. I can't wait for this. So that's already too much chit chat. So let's fucking do it. Already sounds pretty cool and different for them. They're already evolving their sound. Holy shit, the hype. Is Mitch playing a 7-string? Oh my god, let's go. That tone is dirty. That is not a 6-string. Come on. It's so sludgy sounding, man. Okay. Building up to something, probably a chorus with Thomas's vocals. Oh. Oh man, it's groovy too. Oh, no clean vocals yet. Let's go. Oh, man. I love this back and forth idea with the eeriness and weirdness and the sludginess, man. Shut down the system. Burn away the veil. What waits? A face behind a face behind a face. Reverse the network. Burn away the veil. And you'll find a face behind a face behind a face. Shit. Let's go. Oh, I love Garrett Slows, man. Come on. Take care of the Woo! Oh my god, what just happened? Oh man. Now this is why Silent Planet is one of the most exciting bands in the scene right now. Holy shit, they write banger upon banger. Their last album, When the End Began, was my album of the year when that year, 2018 I think is when it came out. But god damn, these guys continue to impress and they evolved their sound. It is so awesome. It is so awesome, dude. Let's go through the pros and cons. So number one pro, I think, is how they evolved their sound. I got to talk about it a little bit more because, you know, Silent Planet has been a band that kind of sounded like a little bit like Under Oath and Oh Sleeper, but they continue to evolve. And, you know, with Garrett's vocals, they're very poetic and stuff, and his lyrics are very interesting, and his wordplay is so unique, especially in the scene. And that was kind of what they were going for, the atmospheric kind of metalcore and with like slight prog elements. And here, this sounds like more just like a hard-hitting metalcore tune. I wouldn't really call this proggy in any way, but holy shit, in terms of tone and some of the effects and samples that they added, it was very eerie and weird, and it just sounded so different. It sounded modern and very, very different for the band, but it still sounds like Silent Planet. This is a sick tune. Number two pro is Mitch's guitar work, which was a lot different here because, you know, there's certain guitarists that like they don't really evolve their sound too much. They kind of play to the same tunings and don't really experiment enough, and so that can really hurt an album or the album cycles where the albums start to sound very similar because there's not enough variations. But Mitch's guitars here was very different, a lot less focus on these 6 strings, like weird slidey harmonic kind of stuff that he used to do, and he probably still does, but with this one song it was big emphasis on the sludginess and just like the fat tone on this was wild, man. I feel like at the end they threw in some panic chords, but even then the panic chords weren't usually like they usually played higher up on the fretboard, but not here. Everything was just super low tuned, and it just sounded so massive and doomy. It sounded really sick. Obviously another thing is Garrett, man. Garrett is an absolute beast. His vocals continue to impress, and I'm glad that this song didn't have any clean vocals because I like the clean vocals, but Garrett is literally top tier in terms of his heaviness and just his range, and obviously his lyrics. It sounds like his lyrics are a little bit more from the heart, or I guess, you know, he's not pulling as many citations from literature and stuff. So it's a little bit, it seems like it's a little bit more personal. It's a little bit more of a different direction. And I'm assuming that I could be wrong, but that's also because like I feel like his wordplay here was a little bit more slower and not as fast because he's not like reading lines from scriptures and stuff. Regardless, it's still really cool to hear him do that. I hope on the album there's a good mix of that and him citing literature and other things. But yeah, Garrett's an absolute beast. I love the vocals. And another pro to this is that each musician is so good at what they do. You know, Alex's drumming is phenomenal. There's so much flair and odd accents being played that if you pay attention, you're going to be rewarded with these really, really cool drum beats. And, you know, that's what I mean. Like, every musician is independent from one another. They're not codependent on each other. They all follow the same beat, but all have their own style and flair to what they bring to the table. Even Thomas's bass work was coming through quite a bit, and I thought that was really cool. And that's another pro. I thought the back and forth kind of idea was pretty solid with, you know, the weird experimental kind of like sound that they incorporated, and then going back into that sludgy metalcore sound. And the weird experimental stuff actually sounded like a little bit like Under Oath, kind of like disambiguation kind of era. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. But, you know, it still sounds like Silent Planet. It still sounds fresh. And another pro, I think, is that this song had a lot of hype. You know, there was a lot of momentum going before it got into certain sections, and I think stuff like that really helps, especially like, you know, the intro, for example. They were really building up to something, and I really, really like that in songs because, you know, if we get straight into a breakdown or if we get straight into the first verse, there's no anticipation, right? But if there's hype, there's build up, there's that tension that something is about to drop, and they also had that for the final breakdown. There was tension building, and these guys are so good at that. They know when to space out certain parts, and that's why I think they're really, really good songwriters. You know, when they do the more atmospheric tunes, they really let the atmosphere kind of like drown out the rest of the band, and then when the band does kick back in, it just sounds monstrous, right? Because they take that break. And I think with this song there was enough build up with these electronic samples or weird sound effects that they incorporate into what was going on here. And yeah, overall the tone of the song is just another pro because the tone was a lot different for Silent Planet. It's kind of like the same pro as I had at the beginning. But yeah, this song was a banger. Let's go on to the cons. Nah, dude. No cons. This is one of the best songs of the month. Silent Planet literally does no wrong. You know, ever since I first heard Panic Room, like, I don't know, back when 6 years ago or something like that, I was blown away, and this band continues to blow me away. Like, I think they're a top tier band, and yeah, I absolutely love these guys to death, man. This song was sick. I am for sure going to put this on repeat, man. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on Silent Planet Panopticon. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, so comment down below, spice up my life. What'd you guys think of this tune? I'm curious to know. Also, if you got to this point in the video, I haven't clicked off yet, then I appreciate the shit out of you, man. For all of that, thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.